Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN headquarters in St. Petersburg, Florida. 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. 1 hour to go until the opening bell. We got markets starting things off in negative territory, but just by the slightest. S&P's negative by 6 points right now, trading at 33.13. NASDAQ futures negative by 7, trading at 91.88. Dow futures off 83 points, trading 29,057. Oil continuing the slide. We'll pull up the oil chart in a moment. Oil trading 55.72, down more than $1 after being down almost $2 yesterday. The 10-year yield lower as well. 1.738% on that 10-year yield. So we start things off. We got a record print in the S&P yesterday, 33.37. The market sells off a bit towards the end of the day. We pull up the VIX, as you would expect, a little bit of an elevated VIX this morning, 1339. You see the spike yesterday just to above 13 by a hair, 1301 during the 3 o'clock hour. A little bit of raised volatility as this market pulling back a bit. Still earnings season, that's for sure, but we'll jump over to, and we'll start it off with the indices. There's your Dow 30. There is backing it up to yesterday's action in terms of Wednesday. You see the sell-off at about 11 a.m., and then again at about 1:30 p.m. the sell-off begins. Currently trading 29,068 in the Dow, kind of just bumping up those levels that we were at for the lows in terms of 7 p.m. last night, and also just after about midnight. S&P's pretty similar charting pattern, 33.14. As I mentioned, we made it up to about 33.37. So you're talking about 23 S&P points from where we were at that level. NASDAQ 100 trading 91.92. You back things up to the high that we had yesterday, 92.53. So you're talking about 60 NASDAQ 100 points off of that high. Pulling up the crude oil chart, as we mentioned, quite a slide for crude. You back things up. So this is where futures open on Sunday night, to give it a little context, because boy, oh boy, we're coming from almost $60 in the price of crude. We were up there at $59.57. You trade lower. We reach a point as Tuesday afternoon, so you're talking about almost 48 hours ago, 58.77, and since then, you're talking about almost 2 days of just complete negative action. You back it up to early on Wednesday even, we're above $58. You make a low last night in crude of $55.59. We're currently trading at $55.73. There's your gold contract, currently trading at $15.55. And the euro-US dollar just under 111 right now at 110.90. In terms of what else we have happening in the market, just getting weekly jobless claims coming out at 8:30 a.m. this morning. That number coming in at 211,000 for the week ended January 18th, the Labor Department saying. To get into the numbers, the initial claims for state unemployment benefits rose 6,000 to seasonally adjusted 211,000. Claims for data for the prior week was revised to show 1,000 more applications. Economists polled by Rhoades had forecast claims increasing to 215,000. So again, that headline number, 211,000 coming in. Jumping around to what else we have, moving the market. We have earnings coming. Comcast shares rise after earnings beat on top and bottom line. Comcast fourth quarter results exceeded expectations, top and bottom. Company added 442,000 new high-speed internet customers during the quarter, which surpassed analyst expectations of 378. Getting into the earnings, revenue. Earnings, 79 cents versus 76 cents per share. That's what they were looking for. Revenue, quite a beat as well. $28.398 billion versus $28.169 expected. And as we mentioned, the high-speed internet, 442,000 net adds. That is a net number versus 378,000 is what they were looking for. The company has pursued new media assets as other areas of its business, such as video customers, have continued to drop off. That's the CEO telling CNBC's Squawk Box this morning that Comcast has made a pivot to a broadband-centric cable company. That would explain why this number highlighted is so essential to what they'll be doing in the future. To see how Comcast shares are trading this morning, CMCSA, a little bit of volatility, spiked to a high of 48.84, currently trading 48.14 and closed yesterday at 47.44. Procter Gamble falling on a sales miss, yet the company raising its forecast. Reported mixed results for the fiscal quarter, second quarter. P&G also raised its fiscal 2020 forecast for sales growth and core earnings per share. The company's baby care segment struggled as competition ate into its sales and fewer customers were buying products like Pampers in certain markets. to get into the details. Earnings per share, $1.42 versus $1.37, but there's your miss on the top line. Revenue, $18.24 billion. They were looking for $18.37. Second quarter net income, $3.72 billion, or $1.41 a share, up from $3.19 billion, or $1.22. Pretty remarkable when you can increase your net income to $3.72 billion from $3.19 billion in 1 year, and the market not really liking that from what they're saying. Pulling it up, PG, so far this morning, quite a spike, right? You were trading yesterday 125.56. You spike all the way down to 121.92, but a little bit of a reprieve back up to 124. As they mentioned, they kind of guided up for the fiscal year, even though they had a miss there. Continuing the trend, American Airlines profits jump despite the Boeing 737 MAX problems. So American, one of the airlines that does fly that troubled airliner, the 737 MAX, or doesn't fly it right now, well, it's not in the air. Fourth quarter earnings and revenue came slightly above analyst estimates despite complications from the grounding of that Boeing 737 MAX. They posted net income, $414 million for the last 3 months of 2019, up 27% from a year earlier. Revenues rising 3.4% to $11.31 billion. Like rivals Southwest and United, American is grappling with the nearly year-long grounding of that 737 MAX. American said it had canceled 10,000 flights in that quarter alone, but the plane's grounding was not American's only problem in 2019. Operational struggles forced it to cancel or delay thousands of flights, and investors will be looking for new information on the carrier's recovery when executives brief analysts at 8:30. That's going on right now. To pull that up, American, AAL, I believe. There we go. A little bit of volatility, spikes down to 26.51, back up to 27.12, and I believe we have that conference call going right now. We're going to get into Love, Southwest, their earnings as well. Before we do, here's the chart. 53.11 right now, closed at 53.48. Southwest, another one of the operators of the 737 MAX plane, and there are their numbers. So fourth quarter profits falling 21% after that Boeing 737 MAX grounding, driving up costs. So you have fourth quarter profit tumbling 21%. Southwest has the most Boeing 737 MAX planes in its fleet and in order than any other U.S. airline. The planes have been grounded since March after the two fatal crashes. Southwest's net income fell 21% to $514 million from a year earlier. The revenue number, $5.73 billion, which is slightly ahead of the estimate and up 0.4% of the year. The grounding reduced Southwest's operating income by $313 million in the fourth quarter and $828 million for all of 2019. It's just remarkable when you're talking about almost $1 billion that Southwest is decreasing in revenue because of that plane. And there is Boeing off of the lows from yesterday, but still 308.90. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be going over what else we have coming up for the market as we look to the open at 9:30. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, JDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-Shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow right now, negative 72 points. S&P futures negative by 5. NASDAQ futures negative by 3. Going to jump around to a few other headlines this morning that we have in the market. One of the ones that you will probably see out there for sure is that White House supposedly has started work on second round of tax cuts to boost growth. That's Mnuchin out there talking about second round of tax cuts, election season just around the corner. It's almost February, the general election in November, second round of tax cuts. You're going to hear that a lot, I imagine, from this administration. China, the coronavirus, the confirmed cases and where they are. So, of course, not of course, but if you haven't heard, quite a lockdown going on in China as they try and contain what they have going on. Mainland China now, 571 cases. You see the map here, whether it's South Korea, Japan, all across Asia. Of course, there is one patient in the U.S. That strain having reportedly now killed 17 people, 600 infected. The pneumonia-like disease first identified on December 31st. Pretty remarkable. You're only talking about 24 days ago. China's capital city, Beijing, canceled major public events, including two well-known Lunar New Year temple fairs. State-run Beijing News said on Thursday as authorities try to curb the spread of the deadly coronavirus outbreak. Separately, the country's railway operator said passengers would be able to receive full refunds as they try and stop people from traveling. China put a lockdown on two cities at the epicenter of the new outbreak. The most transport in Wuhan, a city of 11 million people, was suspended on Thursday morning, and people were told not to leave. I mean, pretty remarkable. If you had this going on in the U.S., a city with 11 million people, no travel, and people told in that city not to leave, as you have people getting sick, dying, I'm sure there's some panic out there, as you would expect. Hours later, state media in neighboring Huangyang, maybe, a city of some 6 million, said it was imposing a similar lockdown. Wuhan city government said it would shut down all urban transport networks and suspend outgoing flights from 10 a.m. Domestic media said some airlines were operating after the deadline, however. So we'll keep our eye on that one. Other news out there, travelers, profit beat on higher premiums, strong underwriting. Travelers often seen as a bellwether for the insurance sector, as it typically reports before its industry peers, said net written premiums rose 6% to $7.08 billion for the quarter. The insurer's underwriting gains more than tripled to $513 million. Catastrophic losses, net of reinsurance, fell to $85 million. Net investment income fell 2%. Net income rose to $873 million. Other news? So, because of the holiday we had on Monday, we get both natural gas and crude oil EIA inventories this morning. So I'll be back on the air with Tom at 10 o'clock. We get Natural gas, as we normally do, Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. Now, crude is usually Wednesdays at 10:30. Crude pushed back to 11 a.m. is what happens on Thursday. So we're going to take a look at this crude market. You want to talk about some volatility? Boy, oh boy. Crude, $55.57. I'm going to take a quick look at some of the possibilities that we have in the crude market going on. Pulling up some of the available spreads. We're going to take a quick peek, and I'm just going to refresh this actually to see if they have all of them in here as this market loads. Here's your spreads. Come on, crude. And taking a look at the daily. So what's nice here, I took a look at this at the break, is that we have a possibility to gain exposure from $55.50. You're trading within 4 pennies of that price point right now. Here is our 230 spread. These are $3 spreads. Here's your bullish spread. Now there's going to be some volatility priced into this. Number one, because of what we have going on in the market in general. And number two, we get the inventory numbers at 11 o'clock. It's 8:45 right now. So you're talking about 2 hours and about 15 minutes from now. We get the inventory numbers, and then you have exposure remaining until 2:30. Contracts trading 55.53. Always nice when it sets up right near the floor of the ceiling of our contract. So the indicative, which is the March oil contract we're trading now, right to the penny now, 55.50. There's your bullish contract. We're paying about 30 cents premium there. Contracts trading at 55.50. They're going to let us buy it at 55.80. You're paying $30 on the bid. And then vice versa, it's probably going to be a very similar sell. You have exposure from 55.50 down to 52.50. $3 of exposure, 30 on the negative. So right now you could get basically a volatility trade, and you're looking for about $60, which represents 60 cents of movement you need in that oil contract prior to 2:30 for a break-even trade. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't just go directionally. I mean, maybe you want to make a bearish trade. Maybe you think oil is going to continue to climb, but you worry that it's going to rebound substantially. Not bad that you can lock in defined risk, because as I say this, boy, oh boy, oil's just dropped 15 cents since we started looking at this. This is a 5-minute bar, I believe. Okay, these are 15 minutes. Let's put it on a 5-minute. Yeah, because look at this 5-minute bar. This bar just started 2.5 minutes ago, and we've traded about 20 pennies. Oil is just not slowing down, folks, as we go lower. Pretty remarkable. Other news you have out there, we got Intel earnings after the bell tonight. Checking in on Intel as we start off some of the chips. Quite a run Intel has had. Even yesterday, look at that charge higher. From under 61, you finished the day at 62.73. We actually hit 63.08. What I love, giving Thinkorswim a little plug here, because you can't beat this, folks. We were looking at whether it's Netflix, with their one-day expected move of $25, that disappointed. Intel, right now, pricing in the one-day expected move of about $3. So you're talking about almost 5%. That's what the market's pricing in. And where they get that from is basically what it costs at the money option for 1 day, give or take, to buy a call, buy a put. And to explain it a bit, we'll pull up. There's your Intel. It is January 23rd. You take a look at the January 24th options. We're trading at 62.73, and as you can see, if you go to what's a little tough here is that you're going to have 25 cents of movement in either direction, whether it's 62.50 or $63. But the bid ask right at around $1.50, give or take, $1.75. You got to buy each side of that to get to the $3. But basically, the market pricing in about $3 of movement when we get Intel numbers after the bell. The other number out there tomorrow, because I will jump to, is we get American Express. Their earnings, we'll jump back to the Analyze tab, AXP. AXP trading at 131. The market looking to price in about $3.54. Not as much volatility in a stock like American Express as compared with somebody like Netflix, which is really coming out with some important information every quarter in terms of how many people they're adding, as they have some competitors on the line. That's about, call it about a 3% maybe move priced into there. And again, to look at the options on American Express, we're trading at 131.49, give or take. You'd have to either choose 131 or 132. But as you can see, $3.50, you want basically, now these expire tomorrow, being Friday. Yes, January 24th, the expiration date. These expire tomorrow. Basically, a 2-day option. You can buy at the money, 131 or 132. Here's your calls on the left side. If you're buying in the money, you're paying $2.11 for a 131. You got about 50 cents of intrinsic value. You buy the put at the same time, you're paying about $3.54 for that. And so we're looking for Intel, we're looking for American Express. We'll see when we get those numbers. Intel after the bell tonight, and I believe American Express, where are they? They're going to be before the market. Yes, American Express, these are tomorrow's earnings before the market. In terms of other stocks tomorrow, nothing really jumping out here tomorrow. And the only one left after the market that jumped out at me today was Intel. Stay tuned, folks. We'll wrap up the show when we come back, talk about what we have on tap for the rest of the day. We'll be right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhoades, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get the competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. One final check on the markets before we wrap things up. NASDAQ futures actually in the green now, trading 91.96, up half a point. S&P's negative by 4. Dow futures getting hit by Procter Gamble in a big way. Dow negative 68 points right now. Jumping over, we got to check on Tesla, right? Tesla, quite a run it's had. Paired some of those gains yesterday in terms of quite a run up to 594. Maybe it's kind of exhausted everything for the meantime because, boy, oh boy, I mean, you're talking about, you want some volatility. Tesla up to 594, and then just like that, you traded down to 556. You're talking about 40 points. That's 6-7% off of that high, but quite a run. You're up almost 8-9% yesterday in Tesla, looking open basically a little bit lower this morning. I say it. We closed at 569 this morning, 557 right now for Tesla. Put things in context, I believe that still puts Tesla at over $100 billion market cap. Pretty remarkable. Other news out there. Amazon asking the court to pause Microsoft's work on Pentagon's Jedi Cloud contract. I imagine we'll see this playing out, at least in the news over the next few weeks, if not months. In a Wednesday statement, AWS writing, it's important that numerous evaluation errors and blatant political interference that impact the Jedi award decision be reviewed. And to check in on those two stocks, some of those high flyer FANG stocks, Amazon had made it over 1900 pre-market yesterday, pulled back a bit, currently looking to open basically flat. You got Microsoft looking to open flat as well. Netflix, on the heels of their earnings, had pulled back yesterday to lower territory. Checking in on some of those other streamers, Disney looking to open 143.85, closed yesterday at 144.01. And what else as we wrap it up? Right after this program, folks, Larry Pesavento with Trade What You See. Stay tuned for him. And a week from yesterday, 6 days from right now, Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, 4 till 5:30, 90 minutes long. Larry with subscribers to Fibonacci 24/7. Check that out, folks. 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers. He's got a lot to cover in those 90 minutes that will be archived if you can't attend live, and a great service overall. Larry putting out charts, videos, all of that. Weekend reports for his subscribers. I appreciate you joining me. Stay tuned, folks. We got Larry coming up next. We'll be right back.